Start off my day taking the kids to the park. It's that country life.
The turtle's going away.
Nah, a turtle right there. See a turtle, y'all? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. All right. Beautiful. Bye, Michelangelo. What's up, comic book peeps? Welcome to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall, Direct Edition. And man, today we're just going to chill out. You're going to hang out with me and we're going to look inside the comic book shop that I volunteer in, Arcade Comics. We're going to do a little bit of that, but we're going to get back to our regular kind of comic book haul. So you guys be safe out there. You guys chill out with me for a while. Spread the love, man. I love this community. And yeah, let's get into it. You ready? You sure? All right, let's go. And this episode of Direct Edition is brought to you by My Fate Darth Maul from China. All right, so you know how we do on this channel. Let's get into some comics today. You gonna be on the video this time, Adam, or you want to take a break?
I'm not in this one. Unless one of my tears falls in the book like filming it. You ripped me off. Oh no, these are the ones you're buying.
So you're gonna open up a eBay store, right?
That's right. Because Fred Hall recommended it.
And then what kind of deals are we gonna do on the eBay store?
The best deals anywhere.
Like the more you purchase, the more like percentage comes off or something like that?
Maybe. Maybe the price goes up the more you purchase. You buy more stuff.
Old school crusties.
You like the most hated character and probably
We rescued him. Come to find out, the reason why we're after him is because he's a drug dealer selling these things from Manico. But Manico stuff is legal on the price.
Cool Quicksilver cover.
So we bought some stuff from him.
Nah, this is mine. Uncanny X-Men. Well, this is my stuff that I like to collect.
So we rescued a drug dealer.
But I think these are out of my price range. These are a little expensive.
This is all in the span of what, 2 days? 2 or 3 days? So we go on down the road again. I'm like, well, we're going on the road a little bit further, and this time.
First appearance of Sauron.
He's just freaking out. Look, he's on the mannequin drug. He's freaking out. They end up killing him. If we tried to help him, but he started attacking us. Yeah. So we blew him up. So then we go to watch. Take a rest and watch. On the watch.
This is for a customer named Sean. Sean actually will spend over 1,000 very quick on comics. I don't know what this guy does. I think he sells drugs and collects comics, but very cool. Okay, so right now I got some high dollar books, so I'm going to put it in a display case right up here. So I'm just show you guys before I go ahead and put it in it. This is Antenna number 13. This is Adam Hughes cover. This book, remember, I got it from my flea market haul for $2. This is a $50 book. This is Cable and Deadpool, the final issue. You have a new Teen Titans that's going crazy that I just bought myself, and this one is up to $15 now. I don't know why it's so popular, but for some reason this book is popular, so we're going to put it in a high dollar display case. Please excuse my ashy knuckles. I've been going through boxes, so my knuckles are a little ashy. And this is Cable and Deadpool. This talks about, this book I really wanted because the cover artist is Simon Bianchi. But this one talks about when Deadpool saved Cable and Hope. And it's actually a very cool side story because Deadpool actually buys Hope's Pampers and all this other kind of stuff in this book. So that's a pretty nice book, man. I really, really want this book. But for $15, I'll just wait, you know what I'm saying? Until I really, really get, you know, my money up to buy it. But here's some high-dollar books that's going in the case. Pretty cool, huh? All right, it must be haul time of the video. Time to look at the latest comic book haul. But before we do, let's look at some of this cool stuff. This is some of my X-Men and Wolverine collection. DVDs, I still haven't upgraded to Blu-ray, but it's all good. All right, you know how we do on Direct Edition. Let's get into some comics. All right, so what I like to do is I like to stockpile my Harley Quinns before I bring them to you guys and show them to you guys. This is Harley Quinn number 26. This is a very cool cover. This is a Frank Cho cover. I don't think I'm going to go back and get the A covers. I think I'll stay with the B covers, which are the variants, the Frank Cho, because I like the Frank Chos, and then you know how much Harley comes out twice a month. So it would be overkill for me to collect everything Harley, even though I want to. It would be my dream to get, all the Harley Quinns, all the Wolverines ever made, and also all the X-Men and Uncanny X-Men titles. That's the ultimate goal as a collector. So hopefully one day I hit the lottery, man, and, I can do that. That's my, bucket list if I ever got, a big lump sum of money. And a lot of people, too, will be taken care of around me. Say some of my fellow comic book collectors, I would look out for. So, nice dreaming. But there you go. You got Harley Quinn number 26. I'm sure you guys have seen this in other people's video. It says, geez Louise, come on, what does it say? Go already? So I guess she's waiting on her little hot dog to use the bathroom. So not only did I pick up number 26, but I picked up this very cool number 27, which is the yoga poses. And she's saying to the dog, yes, I see you. What does it say? Yes, I see you. Oh, thanks for the kisses. I'm sorry, but I'm shooting it from far away, so I have to get up on it to actually see it. But very cool, man. I definitely like these, man. So why stop at 27? I also picked up number 28, which is Vote for Harley. Very cool cover. Of course, this is Frank Cho cover. Definitely love this one. And that's a cool look at my Harley run for right now. One day I'm just going to bring out the whole complete Harley Quinn Rebirth run, which I'm sure I do have. And yeah, we'll just do it. Because, it is the Harley Quinn's, 25th anniversary. That was last weekend. So very cool. Boom, and there you have it. Harley Quinn's 25th anniversary. Very cool, man. You know how much of a Harley Quinn fan I am. Before the Suicide Squad, around the time of the Batman animated series. I just went crazy when I first saw her. So, and I'm still in love with her to this day. And I just think she's such a great character. So, all right, let's move on to some more comics. So, as I'm digging through these collections that, they have at the local comic book shop, I'm also, too, picking up all the free books. And I'm letting, Adam go ahead and eBay the books, the free books, to see if they're going for anything online. Because sometimes they do go for a little bit online. So this is one of my favorite hardcovers that I own. This is X-Men's or Avengers Extinction. And basically what happens is Cable takes down the whole Avengers team by himself. So I really do love Cable as a character. He's very cool. He's very Terminator-ish. I thought this run was very cool. And yeah, man. So definitely glad to have this free book. Not only did I pick up this free book, but I also picked up the Mighty Thor Saga. So I thought that was very cool too, man. I still haven't cracked it open and kind of dwelled into it and read it or whatever. But I definitely need to do that with that Mighty Thor Saga because it's very cool. You have classic Thor, you have modern Thor, and you have I don't want to say middle age, the Bronze Age or the Silver Age Thor. So very cool, man. So for some reason, I thought this book was a little older than what it is, but it's still an old school crusty dusty. This is Crimson Avenger #1 from 1988. It's #1 in a 4-part miniseries. And a lot of times when I get my old school crusty dusties, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a trick that I actually will do. Matter of fact, let me just grab it if you allow my sexy fingers to interrupt your video. What I do with my old schools is I will take it and I will bag it once. And then I will take a piece of tape across the back like that to seal it. Then I take a piece of tape and seal both sides. Like I will actually take the tape and fold it over the corners so no air gets in. But not only do I use one bag, but I use 2 bags. And I've done that for years, and that's kept my wider books or books with kind of pages that I don't want to brown. That keeps them solid. And that's just a little trick that I do. You're more than welcome to try it. I think it's very cool that I'm giving you guys my, suggestion or how I keep my older comics, basically from aging. And that's how I do. You just have to take away all air. And not only do I do that, but I'm going to show you something else. What I also do is I have these big gallon bags. See the Cyberforce? Pretty cool. I got these big gallon bags like this. And I take my comics and put them in this. And I'll put like maybe a run of Cyberforce, like Cyberforce 1 through 5. And I'll take it, put it in the bag. And then I'll put it downstairs in the dungeon. Or I am downstairs in the dungeon. I'll put it in the dungeon, in the trunks that it goes in. And it could be in the garage. It could be wherever you want it to be. Because not only did you seal it twice with 2 bags, but you also have a mother bag over all of it. So it's very cool, man. That's how I do my old school crusty dusties or any of my comic books to keep them fresh. And also, too, what has happened is I've had stuff leak on my comic books before. But guess what? Being that it's in like 3 or 4 layers of plastic, the comic books are just fine. I have to hurry up and get to them so they don't get submerged into water. If that was to ever happen, I don't know what would happen. Hopefully my comic books will float and still be okay. But yeah, this is Crimson Avenger #1. Just thought I'd break character a little bit and show you guys some of my suggestions for your books. And let's keep it rolling. Since I already showed them to you, I might as well show them to you again. This is Cyberforce #1 and #2. Is this my boy Mark Silvestri? Definitely my boy Mark Silvestri. I love his drawing. He's been drawing X-Men and all those type of Wolverine and related titles since I was a baby. So I'm very, very thankful to grow up in an era where I had Mark Silvestri and Jim Lee drawing because their drawings are second to none. So this is a cool Cyberforce. Look at Cyberforce. Let me show you 2 more Cyberforce books since I went ahead and showed them to you in this video. Okay, so here's another Cyberforce #2, and you also have Cyberforce when it went over to Top Cow. That character name is Ripclaw. Ripclaw has always been very Wolverine-ish to me, but he's also been very unique to where I haven't really noticed the collection into the collection. I haven't even noticed the connection until I gotten older about how him and Wolverine are so similar. But definitely love my Cyberforce, man. Straight shot in the arm to the 90s. You know us 90s collectors, this is what we basically grew up on, Image Comics and stuff like that. So very cool. So, I'm in my comic book shop, and as I usually do, I do a lunch run. And as I'm doing the lunch run, Adam was like, hey, man, you should stop by this comic book shop that's closing. So I went by there, and I picked up a couple of comic books just for $1. In one of my earlier videos, you saw me, I had Ghost #1, The Further Adventures of Cyclops and the Phoenix. All those were dollar bin finds from that store that was closing. The guy told me I wouldn't find anything valuable, and I said, challenge accepted. I found a Spawn #13 to go in my Spawn run. I would definitely love to have Spawn like #1 through 50. But back then, I was a Spawn fan, but it was other things. I'm a multiple collector. I don't have just one hero that I zoom in on besides Wolverine or Harley Quinn. I've always been a multiple subscriber guy. So it's hard for me to plug in the holes and plug in the gaps because I'm all over the place. You know, I see Spawn, I like Spawn. You know, I see this, I like this, I like that. And so I definitely like to get Spawn 1 through 50. But this is Spawn number 13 that Adam told me to go ahead and, you know, try to find that comic book shop that was closing. And then when I got back to his shop, I found another Spawn number 13, which is basically Todd McFarlane's Goodness. So definitely had to have this in my collection. I definitely love Chapel. If you allow my sexy fingers to interrupt your video, that's Chapel right there. The whole story behind Spawn and Chapel is a Young Blood member now, but back in the day he used to be a mercenary too, and he's the one who actually killed Al Simmons. And Spawn went when he got back, found Chapel, and made his painted skull that was on his face a permanent skull on his face. So I'm not sure if this is around that time. I really have to crack this number 13 open and read it. But I always thought that was very cool that a hero would get into it with another hero, and that hero used to be a mercenary. Both heroes used to be a mercenary. So it's a lot of history in between those two. So, but not only did I pick up number 13, but I also picked up number 14, which is a very cool cover. That's you know, Violator and the Violator. I actually have this comic already, but it should have been thrown out with the purge that I had in college when I purged all my old ticked up books. But I kept hold of it because I knew I didn't have that many Spawns. So, and this book has a lot of sentimental value. I definitely like the story that's in it, and every time I read it, it takes me straight back to my pre-teens, early teens era. So very cool. But not only did I pick up number 14 and 13, but the last Spawn I picked up was number 34 with the Violator on the front cover, holding somebody's face like a mask, which is very gruesome. But yeah, man, just look at that. Glad to have those Spawns in my collection. All right, let's keep it rolling. And so we're at the point in the video where you ask me, hey, Fred Hall, Direct Edition, what are you reading right now? And this is what I'm reading right now, man. This Fear Itself was actually, a lot of people slept on Fear Itself. That's Spider-Man versus Ben Grimm. And in this story, it's no hope, man. You feel like Spider-Man is not going to win. He's definitely going to die and all this other kind of stuff. And it sounds familiar that I'm telling you this, so maybe this was something that I was reading in one of my previous videos. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Very cool hardcover. Like I said, Ben Grimm, you know, got that hammer from the Serpent, who is Odin's brother, who came back to Earth and enchanted a lot of your Marvel heavy hitters with hammers, similar to Thor. Not only does Spider-Man fight Ben Grimm in this, and it's almost like he's going to not win, but he also fights an old villain by the name of Vermin. So it's a very cool book, man. Definitely glad to have this hardcover in my collection. And here's a cool look at the front of the book. And here's a very cool look at the back of the book. Definitely love this book, man. Glad to have it. And I bought it for super cheap. There's some of the stuff that you can read off the back of it if you want to pause it, kind of read it. But yeah, man, very cool hardcover. All right, comic book peeps, let's get into some of your main events. I'm going to go ahead and give you 3 main events today, and we're not going to do 2, we're going to do 3, because I have so many comics that I'm backed up on showing you guys that we're going to do 3 main events, okay? Cool? All right, let's get into them. So your first main event would basically explain to you why I have this X-Men backdrop. This is a giant size annual that I've been wanting to get in my collection for a while. This is a giant size annual X-Men. This is Storm, the Goddess of Thunder. It's a newsstand edition. I'm sure that is Arthur Adams' cover. And I've always wanted this because this is when Storm first, you know, kind of dons the power of Thor, which makes sense because both of them, you know, control the weather. Thor being the god of thunder, and Storm being able to control the weather, and she uses lightning and thunder a lot. So definitely thought this was cool, man. This is your first main event. This is an old school Crusty Dusty. Glad to have it in my collection, and yeah, man. What more can I say? Look at that cover. Very cool. Your next main event is a book that kind of got past me that I didn't get really a chance to collect. This is Superman Unchained, #1 director's cut from the New 52. That's a Jim Lee drawing, and man, you know how I love my sketch variants. This is a beautiful, beautiful book, man, and I'm definitely glad to have this roll over into my Superman collection. And I thought it was very cool, man, and I got really excited when I got this book. And I bought this book for $1 from the comic book shop that was actually closing. Well, it's not really a comic book shop. It was more like a game shop that happened to have some comic books in it. So got this for $1. Challenge accepted. And yeah, that's your second main event. And your last main event is X-Force #10. This is a Mike Cho cover. I think I said Mike Choi one time. What an idiot. But anyway, this is a Mike Cho cover. That is John Proudstar, Warpath. That is Ghost Rider. And up in the corner, where you see the Marvel sticker and the X-Force, that is the Ghost Bear. And in this comic book, the reason why it means so much to me is because in a couple of videos back, I showed you an X-Force book. It's called Who the Hell is Eli Bard? Eli Bard was a guy who was really in love with the Black Queen, Selene. And in order for him to enchant or raise from the dead some of John Proudstar's people, mainly his brother, what Eli Bard did was he desecrated the gravesite of the Indians. And John Proudstar felt this in the spirit, and he went back to where his people were buried. And it was a protective spirit bear that was basically protecting the graves of his people. And so he fought the bear, and he was trying to figure out, what was wrong with the bear. Ghost Rider shows up to show him what to do in that spiritual aspect. And they end up finding that it was an enchanted knife stuck in the side of the bear's neck. And once John Proudstar removed that knife, he was able to keep that knife. And that knife was a knife that Selene needed for a blood sacrifice. So it was a very cool run, man. Definitely love my X-Force and Necrotia. This is, I would call, the road to Necrotia. And I definitely love this book, man. This is definitely top contender always in my sight because I love this book so much, and I definitely love any of the X-Force books that came out around that time, from Uncanny X-Force to X-Force. So there you have it, your third main event. And so once again, I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Direct Edition. The channel is Fred Hall Direct Edition. You guys be safe out there. Remember, words of wisdom. Focus on the ones that show you love. On the ones that don't show you love, just forget about them, and we're going to keep it moving. And I will catch you girls and guys later. You be safe out there. Peace. Be sure to check out my last and latest video, J. Fred and Silent Adam Strike Back. You guys be safe out there. Peace.